Hello, it's Coreyemmah again, and I have a video for you for 4th week of YouTube Pagan Challenge, which is called Your Take on Wheel of the Year. So, Wheel of the Year, the basic of my practice. I do mostly Sabbats in much wider way than I do Esbats. I don't really do Esbats. I feel connected with the moon phases as well, but there will be another topic about it, I'd say. So yeah, solar Sabbats and environmental Sabbats connected with the earth and her cycles are really important for my practice, because I don't necessarily have to make some kind of spell or magical work, but I always go to the woods. I always try to spend the time in the nature, to meditate, to connect with gods, to see what is actually happening around, what is going on in the nature, what are the changes in comparison with last years, and how the earth is changing, and maybe what is she trying to tell us or to tell me, what are gods going to tell me for this part of the year, or advise me or lead me on my spiritual path. So I practice the, let's say, German shamanism or Norse shamanism. I'm very focused on Seder, but also on Galder, on the practice with runes, and I do practice some blots, some connecting with also the nature cycles and special gods. But since I started my practice, Sabbats just were in my practice. Sabbats just were in my path from the beginning. So I'm very used to it, and I really enjoy that. And sometimes I skip some rituals or some blots or some esbats and so on. But I never skip the Sabbat for many years now. I always find some time to celebrate the earth, to connect with gods, to have and to use that opportunity to see what is happening around myself, and what is my place here, and that I'm a part of this kind of earth cycles. And I'm also working with thinking about what is happening to me in this part of the year. What are my feelings? How do I work? How do I exist? How do I follow that cycle of the earth? If it's similar, if I always go kind of to sleep during the autumn and I wake up in the spring. Yes, it's usually like that. I'm very brutally active during the whole summer. I go to every pub, I go to every party, I go everywhere and I do everything. And then winter is coming and I'm like totally sleeping, meditating, doing shadow work, reading books, doing loads of videos, just being hide from the world. So, and refresh some goals and look retrospectively what was happening during that huge active time before, and then I'm starting to prepare myself for what will come from the spring, from the next year, because as I told you, I was born on Beltane, so it's really kind of start of celebrating for the half of the year next half of the year for me. So yes, I really like that concept, and I really follow the wheel of the year in that case of 8 Sabbats, 4 big solar Sabbats and 4 smaller Sabbats, equinoxes, and I don't know the word in English, solstices. So yes, it's very, very connected with my magical work, with my witchcraft, with my path, with my spirituality. It's very important for me, and I'd say that for most of pagans and witches, like witch pagans, witchcraft pagans, who practice long term, it's very, very important thing to do, to follow the wheel of the year, and it does not really have to matter which kind of path they follow, because I for myself can say that I'm following the path where we have 3 really huge dots. One is in the middle of the winter, one is in the beginning of the summer, which is during the April in this faith, and one is in the beginning of the winter. And these 3 are like the really big blots for me, but still I always am totally connected with gods and totally working with gods and the nature spirit during the Sabbats of the Wheel of the Year. So I think that Wheel of the Year from my point of view is very, very important concept and working concept for me. See you soon!